Ooh, we're going live. We're going live. Right, and then what I need to do is grab the live URL. Or I need to enable or disable the waiting room so that people can join if they want to. There we go. We are now live in the Trading and Tantrums group. So I now need to grab this URL, post it in the other groups. So copy, paste. Okay, so let's post in the Ninja group first. Ninjas assemble. Pop this in there. It's 3 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah, I thought I was still tracking time, so I've been out. Right. Come on, Facebook, wake up. Post that in there. Paste. I want to get rid of that bit and just have that zoom in there. Post that in there. And then I need to copy it into Discord. Which I'll do off my phone because it's easier. Bear with. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. My phone decided to go to sleep. Make sure we're connected to the right internet. No, we're not. That's probably why. There's some fun music or something. Maybe I should share a screen. You can stare at a chart or something for a minute while I do this. Let's share that for a second. Right. And then you can stare at the screen and watch my trade lose. Hello, hello. All right, let's just copy this and get it into Discord. Just get it set up, guys, so won't be long. Right, let's pop that in there. Just sending my link out to everybody. Live trading sessions. Paste it in there. Right, I think I've sent it into those ones. Right, so now I need to stream into the other groups. So bear with me while I just set that up, guys. Oh, I've got the spinning wheel of death. That's not what I want to see. Oh, it's spinning. It's spinning. Right, let's get into Financial Freedom Group. Let's post that in there. Copy. Copy. It seems to be taking me ages to get set up today. Normally it's really quick for some reason. Oh no, what's happened there? Oh God. Computer's crashed. No, don't crash on me. Let's just get this done. Hello everybody that's jumping on. I won't be long. I'm just having some technical issues with getting all this streamed into everything. Right, let me just try again. Copy. And paste. Hey, there we go. Right. Post. And then I just need to share it in one more group, I think. Got the list. Yeah, I'm in the ninjas. Post it in there. And let's go in there as well. Paste. Marvelous. Oh, it's asking for a password. What? No. Don't know that business. I pressed the wrong button. Hang on a second. Let me stop share.
We got into your Zoom through your Facebook Zoom.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, rather than through the Discord.
Oh, maybe the Discord's sending out dodgy vibes. Yeah, someone just message me if they can't get in. Right, okay, let's try that again then. Let's pop. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a bit cheeky. Right. See if I can grab the link. The thing is, I haven't got my Discord set up on my computer. It's on my phone, and all the links are on the computer, so I can't drop it over. Hang on a minute. Let's just say, oh, that Paul's commenting as well. Maybe there's something going on. Let's have a look. Someone's typing. Oh, have I messed up? No, people are coming in though. So I don't know. I don't know what I've done. Paul, turn help! I bet he's not there. I bet he's not. Yes, hello.
Hello. All the links in Discord are being duplicated and they look like one long link. So
Oh, it does.
The password doesn't work. You've got to copy and paste half that link.
Oh my goodness me. Right, okay. Right, let's try it again then. You know why? Because my computer's just crashing on me today. Right. Oh, I see, yeah. Oh, God. Right. Okay, bear with. Copy. Let's edit that. Oh, ding dong. Hello, everybody. I'm just having some issues. Bear with me. Paste.
Sarah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Excellent. Yeah, it's Paul.
Hello.
I did find the link, but some of the Zoom links were asking for passwords.
It's weird, isn't it? I don't know why.
Yeah. I did find one. I think you posted in the Ninja group that went straight through, but the one in Discord and the one in the free group as well both asked for passwords. So
it's really weird because I copied the same link. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah,
right.
So you might find plenty of viewers on Facebook, but not so many on the Zoom.
Oh well.
It doesn't
right. If anyone's watching live, then just go to the Ninja group and click on that one, because I can't seem to get the other ones to work. Oh, now Paul's messaging me. What's going on? Oh, sorry, it's just tagging people in it. Right. Okay. Well, you know, the most important people are here. Stanley and Christine are here. That's all I care about at the moment. My favourites.
You're our favourite as well.
Oh, well, there you go. No, I'm joking. Everyone's my favourite. Right. I mustn't upset anybody, must I? Right. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. But it just goes to prove that you don't need to be really technical to trade Forex, because it's all easy stuff. Right. Okay. So we are 5 minutes past 3, so I better get started. So, right, let me just make sure everyone's muted, everyone's done. Right, okay, we're going to share screen. Right, this training today is going to be your very basic BYOB strategy. Okay, I am literally going to go through what we look at, how we do the BYOB, because you know, some of the other live traders are a little bit more advanced, and this is more kind of dedicated to people that are still very, very new to all this, and maybe people looking at this in the free trial. So please don't panic if you look at anything on the screen and think, oh God, what's that? Honestly, it's all going to be explained to you as you work your way through your getting started guide. So the first thing we do before we start to trade is we look at the news, because the news does affect things in a massive way when it comes to Forex. So we use a website called forexfactory.com. Can everyone see my screen? Can you see Forex Factory before I continue waffling on?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Right. This is forexfactory.com, and it's a brilliant, brilliant site that you can go and visit, and it gives you all the news that possibly could affect your Forex trading for that day. Now, what I recommend you do is where, see, you've got this little timestamp up there. If you click on that timestamp, just make sure that you have got your Forex Factory set up to your particular time zone. Okay, and then save your settings. because it might default to a country that's not yours, and then your news will be a little bit out with the times. And then you go to calendar. So as you can see, it gives you the week's events. So today it is Thursday the 14th of May. So there's Thursday. This is our news for today. Now, what we are looking for when we look at this forexfactory.com is we are looking for anything that is red flagged. Red flag will mean high volatility within the markets and would affect your Forex trades. So you need to be aware of those, and you need to possibly avoid trading that particular pair around the hour that it's showing. So during the night last night, 2 a.m. and 3 a.m, we had the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar news. So you should have all been tucked up in bed by then if you're in the UK, but you would have had to avoid those pairs because they can be very volatile if there's red flag. As we wake up this morning in England, the only thing really we're going to look out for is at 11:30 there was Great British Pound news. We've got an orange flag, which is medium volatility for the US dollar at 1:30. And then the next one we really need to be aware of, because it's now 3 o'clock, 3:30 Canadian news. So really the Canadian news we need to avoid today, anything to do with the Canadian dollar, just in case. So that's the things we need to look at. And then what I want you all to do is when you look at your Forex Factory is write down the time and the red flags for that date and stick them in front of your computer, because even though you're probably checking this before you start, half an hour later you've probably completely forgotten what red news there was and what time it was. So keep a note of that in front of you before you trade, because it's good to just glance your eyes over before you take a trade just to make sure that you're not missing anything. Okay, so then what we need to do is you need to go to the Ninja group, and you need to go to units, and you need to print off your BYOB confirmation checklist, and you need to work your way through this. And I'm going to work through this with you today to just go through it to make sure that you're happy with everything that you need to look at before you take a trade. So we looked at the news, which is the first thing, and then what we need to do is we need to go and open up the vibrator tool, because we like to use the vibrator when we're doing the BYOB. You can do the BYOB strategy from the harmonic scanner as well, but we find the vibrator sends out a lot more signals for you to look at. So you go into your back office and you go into your IM center, and you go to where it says strategies down here. You click on there, and this is where you find your tools. Okay, so the harmonic scanner is a brilliant tool, and you'll get that as part of your platinum package for free. The vibrator is an add-on tool. It's about $20 a month extra, but it's really well worth it. It's a brilliant little tool, and these are all ones you can add on as you progress through, and if you want to look at other sort of things within IM Academy, different tools and stuff like that. So we're going to go to the vibrator, and we're going to click on that. All right,
Sarah,
yes.
sorry to interrupt, but Paul's left a message on your chat.
Has he now? All right, let's see what he's up to. Didn't need a password to join. LinkedIn Facebook groups. Okay, that's brilliant. Paul, if you're listening, the links are kind of random. You just have to click on all of them. If it doesn't get in, it's like potluck. One of them will work. I don't know what happened there. I posted the same link, but everything just, the link in Discord's broke. Okay. If anybody's watching from the free group or anything like that, then go and click on the link in the Forex Ninja group. You can get on. The Discord ones are broken. I don't know why they've broken as they've gone in them links, but anyway, we will continue. We will soldier on. Right, this is vibrator. Dodgy name if you ask me, but there we go. We'll go with it anyway. It used to be called the the web analyzer. It used to be called the web analyzer. And you can still access the web analyzer, but this is the new updated version, which is all singing, all dancing. It's got AI integrated within it. It looks for volume bursts within the market. And this is the tool you want to be looking at to take your trades from. Right, let me just check chat. Link in Discord's path. Oh, okay. I don't know. That's technical words. I don't know what that means. Right, anyway. So your vibrator, because we are trading the BYOB, the Be Your Own Bank, you need to go up to strategies and you need to select the BYOB cash out option for the vibrator. There it is. Okay. And what this does is it drops on 2 indicators, and they're the ones we want. Okay, why is my thing not working? Right, it drops on the PSARs, it drops on the stochastic, and we're going to go and look at those in more detail in a second. And what it does down the side here is it sends out the pairs that you need to go and look at, the actual trading pairs that are having volume bursts within the market. And it gives you time frames of these. So it gives you 5-minute trades, 15-minute trades, hour trades, 4-hour trades, and day trades. So this is all the different time scales. So you can trade the BYOB on any time frame. So if you're a quick scalp trader, you might want to look at just the 5-minute and the 15-minute charts. If you're a day trader, you might possibly look at the hour and the 4-hour. And if you are like a long-term swing trader, maybe look at the daily alerts, okay? But it all works exactly the same way. But for what I'm going to show you today, I just want to concentrate on the 15-minute and the 5-minute alerts, because we're going to be doing some scalping, okay? So we want to just go into the market, grab a few pips and get out, okay? So we want that to be quite fast. So what it does here, it sends up the pairs. So the first one up here is the Great British Pound Australian Dollar. So you'll click on that and it's on the 5-minute time frame. And what it tells you here is how long ago that particular call was made. And this was only 3 minutes ago this call was made. Okay, and they were telling us 3 minutes ago there was going to be a volume burst within this pair. And as you can you see how this candle's dropped? This is what it was about. This is what it was looking for, okay? And this is what happened. This little drop happened, okay? And it told you to go and look for that 3 minutes ago. So 3 minutes ago, you would have got into this one and you could have grabbed that drop there. So this is why it's quite a fast and furious tool if you're on the lower time frames, the 5 minutes, because as soon as that gets called, really you need to kind of have a look and make sure see if it's valid or not. CAD JPY was called here. Look, we had a volume burst up here, so you would have grabbed those pips there. And if you want to know how to measure pips, if you grab your little ruler tool, you go from the bottom of the candle to the top, that's 11 pips. Now with the BYOB strategy, we only want 10 pips a day. That's all we want. We only want 10 pips a day, and we want to use proper risk management, and we want to grow our accounts by about 2 to 3% a day using just 10 pips. So this is why this quick scalping, you can be in and out of the markets within a couple of minutes, or maybe an hour or something like that, depending on how quick the markets move. So this is kind of why this suits my lifestyle, is because I can go into the markets, I can say, right, I've got an hour to go and do some trading. I'll literally turn on the vibrator tool, I'll go down the 5-15-minute charts, see what I can grab for the day, grab my 10 pips and then walk away. I'm done. But the vibrator tool is an excellent, excellent tool for calling out the trades. But when it comes to actually physically looking at these to see if there are good BYOB setups, I like to go over to something called Trading View. This is Trading View. Please ignore all these crazy signals on here because this is something I've been looking at earlier. That was that US chef one that Paul called out, Christine. You was on that, wasn't you? That's messing about, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you know why it's messing about?
No.
It's wandered off like a naughty child, isn't it?
CHF.
What do I always say about that one? It wanders off. It's bloody wandered off again, isn't it? There, that's not what I'm going to say about that, Paul Turner. Right. Anyway. Right. So, right, let's go back to the vibrator. What was that called? It just called out. It was it's called another one. Look, all JPY. See that at the top there, guys? All JPY. Just called. Look, just called. So let's go and have a look. So what you do on TradingView, you just go to tradingview.com and set up a completely free account. You don't have to pay for TradingView. Okay, you can use this for free. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant tool because what you can do is you can draw all over this, you can move charts about, you can put indicators on, and you can use this as your viewing platform into the market so you can see what's going to happen. So all JPY, what we do is we find all JPY on our Trading View. If it's not on your list, you just click up there and just type it in and it will come up. Okay, we want to go down to the 5-minute time frame because that's what it was called on. There's the 5-minute. Let me get rid of this Educator because I don't want to show you that yet. Right, I'm going to take everything off. Right, when you join TradingView, you will have a naked chart like this. There's nothing on here apart from candles. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you step by step what you need to build on top of this to be able to analyze this for yourselves to work out whether this is a good trade or not to take. So firstly, we go onto the pair that was called. We go onto the time frame that it was called on, the 5-minute. And these candles here, we want to change them to Heikin-Nashi candles. If you go up here, it gives you options of different sorts of candles that you can choose from. There's one's called Renko, which, oh God, God, what happened there? Which you don't want to be clicking on. That's what Renko candles look like. It looks like some sort of computer game. So we don't want that. We want Heikin-Ashi candles. Okay. So make sure you're set to Heikin-Ashi, because these candles represent the trends within each candle. And that's what we want to look at for the BYOB strategy. I've gone back to day. Look, we want to go on 5 minutes. So candles. Red candles coming down are sell candles. This means that this trade is in a sell. Green candles going up are buy candles. These are in a buy. Sell candles are also known as bears, and buy candles are also known as bulls. The way I remember it is buy, BU, is bull, BU. Okay, so buy candles are bulls, bears are coming down. And as you can see, these candles have got like a thick body, and then they've got these little spikes sticking out, and those little spikes are called wicks. Okay, so this is the body of the candle, the thick part, and this is a wick. Now the thick part represents the actual volume of that candle at that particular time. The wick is indecision. Okay, the wick doesn't really count. It's kind of where the candle wanted to go, but it pulled back. So you measure it from this is the body of the candle. Now when you see wicks like this, okay, when there's lots of these wicks, that means that this price is really indecisive at that particular time. It doesn't know whether it wants to be a buy, it doesn't know whether it wants to be a sell. It's kind of stuck. And we call this trades in consolidation, because as you can see, it kind of went sideways here, and it was sending out these wicks either side because it wasn't sure what to do. Here again, at the top of this little buy section, we had some consolidation where the candles were sending out these big wicks either side with hardly any body in them. And these are kind of doji candles or spinning tops. And again, you can see that was indecisive. They didn't know whether they wanted to carry on or they didn't know whether they wanted to turn and come down. So when we take the BYOB, we're looking for particular types of candles that are really good indicators that this trade is going to move. Now, for a sell, if we want this to be a sell and we want this to come down, what we're looking for is a flat-topped candle, a flat-topped red candle for a sell. And as you can see, there's no wick sticking out at the top of that, which means that that is ready to push down for a sell. So it's going to push down the market, okay? And if you're going to get into a buy, you want to wait for the candle to be flat bottomed. As you can see here, we had a big doji candle here. It had a wick going up here. Okay, but this next candle was beautiful. Look, it had a lovely flat bottom. So you could push that up. So the price is going to come right up. Okay, so they're the candles we want to be looking for. So before we got into any trade, we want to make sure that our candles are either flat topped for a sell or flat bottomed for a buy. And that's a good way to indicate that this trade is going to move, okay? You don't want to be trading these wicks. You don't want to be trading anything that looks like this because you don't know which way it's going to go. You're gambling at that point, okay? You really don't know which way that's going to go. So that is your candle. So that's the first thing we're going to look at. Now, we can't just trade off of candles because we don't know how far that's going to go up and we don't know when it's going to turn. So we're going to stick something on our chart called an indicator. Now, there are thousands of trading strategies all around the world that people use, and every single one of them works, but you need to find one that works for you. Now, this BYOB strategy works for a lot of people because it's got a very high win rate. It is very simple to do, very simple to watch, and very simple to learn. So it's a great one to start off with when you first start. So the indicator that we're going to drop on here, come up to here, and this is your indicators and strategies menu. You've got favorites, which you will star and you can save your favorite ones. You've got a public library, which you can literally just start to type in the indicator that you want. So the first one that we're going to look at is something called the stochastic. So start to type that in. There is stochastic, okay? That will come up in your public library. And if you put a little star next to it, it'll save itself in your favorites so you can find it really easily. Okay, and what it's done, just drop the people's pictures over there. It's dropped on our chart this purple band at the bottom. So now we have our candles and we have this purple stochastic band at the bottom here. Now, as you can see, they've got two lines on this wiggling up and down, up and down, up and down. The blue line represents buyers. The red line represents sellers. So when the buyers are in control, the candles are coming up, the line is coming up. When the red line, the sellers, crosses over the blue line, the buyers, the sellers are trying to take back control of this trade. And if you look up here, can you see how this was going horizontally sideways, and right in the middle of the purple zone, we're in this consolidation that I was talking about. See, we've got wicks. We don't know, this candle doesn't know what to do. The stochastic is reflecting that. This doesn't know what to do. But here, the red candle, the sellers crossed over the blue candle, the buyers, and then because you can see this little gap in between, that means the sellers have got control back of this. And as you can see in the candles, the sellers brought this back down again. So they brought it down. Now, when the stochastic starts to come outside of the purple zone, this means that the trade, the price is then in the extreme. So if it goes below 20, it's literally oversold and it's stuck out here and it wants to buy again. If it goes above 80, it's overbought and it wants to come back down again. This oscillator goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and it mirrors the candles. So at this point here, the stochastic was coming out of the purple zone in the extreme. We like it a little bit more extreme than normally for the BYOB. We like it to have a little bit of a black gap between here, but this was in the extreme. The blue has crossed over the red. The blue has crossed the sellers. So the buyers have crossed over the sellers and the buyers are back in control here and they're taking it up. And all the time that there's a gap between the blue and the green, the buyers are in control. As soon as that gap starts to close and these two lines come together, you can see here, look, they didn't know which way to go. They didn't know whether the buyers were going to continue up or whether the sellers were going to take it back. And it was represented in these three doji candles here, this top bit. But what happened is the sellers have grabbed this, they've taken control and they've crossed over this blue line. And as they've crossed over and they're bringing it down, they've formed a gap between the blue and the red. And look, we had a lovely flat top candle here. We had a stochastic cross and look, they brought it back down. The sellers grabbed it up here, they brought it back down here. And that was that move there. So that was a beautiful move there. They had a flat topped candle. The sellers took control and they brought it right back down again. And if we use our measuring tool here, on that flat candle there, all the way down, that was 17 pips. That move there was 17 pips. And every single one of these candles, because we're on the 5-minute chart, represents 5 minutes of time. So you would have had your 10 pips for the day, probably in about 15 to 20 minutes on that particular move right there. Okay. And as you can see again, look, they're back down here under the 20 zone on the stochastic. The buyers are struggling down here. Look, they sent out a couple of wicks. They're struggling. Look, the buyers, though, then took control. They've crossed over the red and said, no, 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 we're taking this back. So the buyers have crossed over the sellers and the buyers have got this lovely gap between them and the sellers and they're bringing it back up. And look, they did. Look, you had a lovely flat bottomed candle here and the buyers brought it back up. So if you measure from where that flat top bottom candle is all the way up, there's another 15 pips you could have grabbed there, okay? Just because you've got the stochastic cross, you've got the flat bottomed candle. So does that make sense so far? Does everybody get that bit? Yeah, that's quite simple. And this is why we like this strategy, because it's very simple but very effective. But because we like it, we like to get into really, really good trades. We're going to add one more thing to this. Okay, you're only going to add one more thing for this to look at. So we're going to go back up to our indicators and we're going to go to the PSARs, parabolic SARs. Parabolic SAR, see that? And we're going to drop that on. What it's done is it's dropped these yellow dots on, and I'll explain what they mean. I think I just had something come up in the chat, so I'll just have a little look. Oh, it disappeared. My chat box has disappeared. I'll have a look at that in a second because I can't seem to get it back at the moment. Gone, it's gone, it's gone. Right, parabolic SARs. These little yellow dots. Right, what I've done to make this clearer, if you go up to where it says SAR, because this is what it will drop on your chart, and you go to this little cog, and you click on there, you can make these as big or as small as you like, okay? Because that's kind of the default, is this small, but I like to have them really big so we can really see what's going on, okay? So these are called stop and reverse dots. And what they do, let's take it from here, okay? The candles were coming down for a sell. The PSARs were above the candles for a sell, okay, because they're quite happy to push that down. But look, they stopped. They've reversed under the candles, and then they've bought those candles up for a buy. Can you see how they stopped and reversed? And here, can you see where we had this little sell opportunity? The stochastic was in the extreme and it crossed over. The PSAR stopped and reversed and brought it down. And when it got down to the bottom, the PSARs again stopped and reversed, ready to bring it up. So we had two perfect BYOB opportunities within this particular time frame. So you can see here the three things we look at for BYOB. This is the only three things that you need to worry about. Is the stochastic in the extreme? Yes, here it was. Has the PSAR flipped? Yes, it had. Did we have a flat topped candle for the sell? Yes. So at that point there, you would have got into this trade because you had the flat candle and you would have brought it down. There's your 10 pips there for the day. Boom, done. Back here again, you had another beautiful setup for the BYOB. You had stochastic in the extreme down here. You had the PSAR flip from above to underneath, and you had a flat bottomed candle, which meant here you would have got into this trade and you would have got another 10 pips there. That went up to 20 pips. Okay, and that could still go up a little bit more because look, these haven't reached the top yet. So there, you only need 10 pips a day with BYOB. You had two beautiful opportunities in one particular there. That was 5-minute candles, guys. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes there for you to get your 10 pips. This one, 5, 10, 15. You would have got them in 15 minutes on that one. So when people say, do I need a lot of time to trade every day? No, not if you're going for 10 pips. But you need to make sure that the setup's right. For BYOB, you need to make sure that those three things are met. You can't just have two of them and say, oh, we'll risk it, you know. We won't worry about the third one. You want all three things lined up, plus the news. You want to make sure that you're not trading with the news. So for BYOB, that really is the simplicity of the BYOB. Is the stochastic in the extreme? Yes or no? Has the PSAR flipped? Yes or no? Is it a flat top or a flat bottom candle? Yes or no? You get into the trade. And what you do to get into a trade is you do an instant market execution, buy or sell, depending on which trade you're going for. You don't want to be pressing buy, stop, sell limits and all that sort of stuff that's explained in your IM Center training. You just want to market execute the trade when you see those three things line up, and you want to just press buy or you just want to press sell. And then you set your take profit for 10 pips. If you're on a 5-minute chart, I recommend you only going for 5 pips because it's faster and more, you know, it happens quicker and the candles are not as big. So 5 pips on a 5-minute chart or 10 pips on a 15-minute chart. Okay, but then what you need to do is once you've put your take profit in, your take profit level, is you need to put in your stop loss. Now, people say, well, where do I put my stop loss? We recommend for the BYOB that you put your stop loss where the PSAR's flipped. Okay, so if you got into this one here, let's put some lines on this, right? If you got into this trade here, this blue line here, and that was where you executed your trade, that's where you pressed buy on this line here. Okay, and you were setting your take profit for 5 pips. So you get your little measuring stick, you go up to 5 pips, which is just that little move there. Okay, 5 pips. So your take profit is there. Okay, let's do that as green for a take profit. So you got in here, your take profit is there. People say, where do I put my stop loss? You put a stop loss underneath the PSAR flip there. That is where you put your stop loss. Okay, so if this trade was coming up, okay, it hit take profit easily. You know, you got your 5 pips, you got 10, you would have got 15. But if this trade started to come up and for whatever reason it rejected this line and started to turn the other way, then it would get to there, and that is where the position would close and you would have lost those pips there. But you should always have that stop loss in, because if this does turn, you've only lost that. If you don't put that stop loss in, this could keep going down, 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 down to God knows wherever. Okay, so when you put your stop loss in, This is where you don't want it to go further then, okay? So you put that under your PSARs. Once you're in profit in a trade, you can always go back into your MetaTrader and adjust your stop loss and put it, there we go, above your entry. Oh, it's a funny noise. Right. So you could have been in this trade, you could have got in, it could have been moving your right direction, then you could move your stop loss to maybe 1 pip above where you got in. So if this thing did turn around and hit the stop loss and come back down the wrong way, you'd be 1 pip up and you'd be out. You'd be out the trade, but you'd be safe. You'd be risk-free. That's why they call it risk-free if you move your stop loss in front of your entry. So that's what I like to do on a trade, especially on the longer timer frames ones. Once you're in profit, get that stop loss in front of your entry, and then that way, if it turns, you can't lose. Okay, you can't lose. Once you've got that stop loss there, you can't lose. You know, it might come around, touch that, and then shoot off, and you've kind of missed out on the big move, but you haven't lost any pips in case it goes the wrong way. So that is all down to you, your risk factor. You know, how much you like to risk, if you like to be in and out of a trade quickly. Some people use bigger stop losses. So some people would say, oh, I'm going to give this plenty of wiggle room, put their stop loss down there. But then at the end of the day, they got in here, they are then risking 13 pips. They could lose 13 pips to go in for 5. So it's not a very good risk to reward. So I always start with it under my PSAR flip. And then if I'm in profit, then I'll tend to move my stop loss to break even, or to literally be risk free. And then I can't lose that trade. Even if it turns, I can't lose. It's, you know, it won't hit me any more than that. And then I'll look for another one. There's so many trades every day that get called on this vibrator tool that you don't need to risk anything. Okay, you don't need to be in big long-term risks. You just need to be sensible. Right, I can enable the chat now. That's okay, Josh. I'm glad that's explained nicely. Right, so you go back in and you see if you can find another one. So Euro-Ord. Euro-Ord is on the 5 minute again, but that was called 9 minutes ago, so we might have missed it. Euro-Ord. So we do the same thing again. We look at Euro-Ord. We're on the 5 minute time frame. So let's look at our 3 rules. Is the stochastic in the extreme? No, it's not. Look, it's very, very sideways. It's stuck in this purple band, which means it's not extreme enough. This price doesn't want to reject up or down at the moment. It's quite happy in the middle there. So this would be a not ready yet. Okay, so I can't even call whether that's going to be a buy or a sell because it's right in the middle. And I use the stochastic to tell whether it's going to be a buy or a sell. If the stochastic's up here, I know it's going to sell. If the stochastic's down here, I know it's going to buy. But there, I don't know. That's, and what, this is another thing you need to look at as well. It's not necessary for BYOB because it is just those 3 rules. But if you want to be really, really, you know, make sure that you're not going to get into a trade that's going to get stuck, you can put what's called support and resistance lines in. Trades like to kind of follow trends. They like to follow like patterns and lines. And if you can see, if we were going to draw a line in here, say I drew a line in about there, all right? This is quite a strong line of what we call support and resistance. Can you see how many times these candles have kind of respected this line? They've come back to it, they've gone up, they've come back to it, they've kind of messed around it, they've gone up, they've come back, and look, it's literally, it's come back to it again. So when you get these lines of support and resistance, this is almost like what we call a channel. So if you drew one above as well, this trade hasn't really wanted to go beyond this, has it? It's kind of stuck. Can you see how this is stuck in this little channel here? Okay, it's kind of a little bit stuck. I mean, that could even come down a little bit. What you do to draw these is how many times the candles have had a touch. So it's kind of there. This trade here is what I call consolidating because it's kind of stuck in this channel. Now, some people can trade these channels. They can literally trade, you know, off of these support and resistance lines and say, oh, well, it's up there, it must come down. But you don't know whether that's going to break that line at that point, or whether it's going to break the line at this point. For this one, if this candle was to break through this line, then I think, right, okay, this is setting up now. Okay, because it's broken its rules being inside this channel. It doesn't want to be in this channel anymore. It's been quite happy in this channel for quite a long time. So if it breaks out of this channel now, that tells me that this is ready now to make a nice, decent move. But at the moment, this is still saying it's a sell. This could still come all the way down to here. So I wouldn't get into this for a trade now because we've kind of missed the moves. If this was going to be a sell, we would have probably looked at it up here because the stochastic were up high. The PSAR had flipped here and we had a flat topped candle there. So this move kind of was this move here, from here to here. That's 21 pips. Okay, so that would have been the entering point there. That's where we would have got into that one. But I probably wouldn't have taken this one because the stochastic wasn't really right in the extreme. And I think looking at this, the reason it's not in the extreme is because it's kind of quite happy sitting in this little channel here. Okay, I'd want to wait for that to break out or do something a bit more exciting than be stuck in here. Okay, because at the moment, I would have got into that and I think it would have only gone to there and it maybe come back up again. But this is kind of a little bit unsure of itself, this one. So let's move on to the next. So we've had a Euro USD come in. So let's have a look at Euro USD. There it is. Okay, Euro USD. Was that on the 5 minute again? Look, 5 minute. Yeah, there's lots of 5 minute ones coming in. These are quite fast and furious. I do like trading off the 15 minutes. I think it gives you a bit more time to have a good look and analyze rather than the 5 because it all happens very fast on the 5 minute. So looking at this one, it's a stochastic in the extreme. It's on the outer edges of the purple zone. I wouldn't call that extreme. You know, you could probably trade it from that, but I like it to be up in the black because I know then if it's up in the black, either up or below in the black, I know that that's a stronger move that's going to happen. So yes, let's just say that was an extreme. Okay, so we had a flat topped candle here for a sell, but look, the PSARs haven't flipped. So this is kind of, you can look at this and go, oh, well, it's near enough, but I don't like it to be near enough. I like extreme stochastic. I like a PSAR flipped, and then I like a flat topped or flat bottom candle. All three things I like to be really clearly there for me to take this trade. And also this trade seems quite a strong uptrend. It seems to be going up quite nicely. And what you can do with these time frames, you can zoom out by looking at the bigger time frames and see, you know, what this trade is doing. So let's go to the 15 minute. So it's been coming up. It's about to hit a line of support and resistance here. Can you see how many times it's respected around this area as well? So there's a bit of a line. Well, that didn't take it. Horizontal line. There is a line of support and resistance here. Look, it's kind of touched, it's come back up, it's touched, messed about around here, and look, it's come back up again. Can you see how these candles really do respect these lines of support and resistance? And it's really good practice to go through your charts and try and draw on a line where you think that these candles have touched them most times, because they really do get respected, these lines. Okay, so there's another one about there. So look, it's kind of bounced off this one for a little while. It came back down, bounced it there. It's broken it here. It's come back up, but look, it's kind of come back up and touched this line again. So these support and resistance lines are very, very powerful when it comes to trading, and they're very good. It's very good practice to start practicing drawing some of these lines on, because it gives you a bigger picture of what's happening with this trade. So if this trade, if I was going to take this trade and I want it to be a sell, I would have to wait for that candle to break this support and resistance. If that candle broke the support and resistance, then it then has to then flip this PSAR. And can you see how far away this PSAR is? So this, looking at this trade is not ready. Let's look on the 5 minutes. That's what it was called on. Right, okay, so they're expecting this to come down. But I would look at that and go, not yet. This isn't in the extreme. The PSAR hasn't flipped, and this is going up again. So this could bounce around in this channel for a little while yet. So no, not like that one. So then you'd go through order USD or Euro order. I think we looked at that one anyway, didn't we? And if there's nothing there at the time, then go make yourself a cup of tea and come back in a little while. That's the one we looked at as well. That one's not ready. That's stuck in this channel, isn't it? That one. That one's stuck in the channel. And when you go back to vibrator, don't go back too far, because as you can see, the time that's passed on this, you don't want to go back any more than, like, you know, half an hour or so, because the move could have possibly happened. We've got a UJ one half an hour ago, but I assume that that would have made its move already. UJ. Oh, look at that. That was a lovely one. Look, missed that one. So, stochastic was in the extreme. Yes, look at that. That's a beautiful extreme stochastic. We like that one. This is what I mean by extreme stochastic. There's black in between the purple zone and the lines. Extreme. And look up here. This is extreme. This is what we like. Look at that big cell that came in after that. It's lovely. So this would have been, is a stochastic in the extreme? Yes. Did the PSAR flip? It flipped here. Yes. We had a flat bottomed candle for the sell, for the buy, sorry. So if you'd have got into that one on that particular point, there's another 13 pips there on that move on these 5-minute candles. So that's another lovely little BYOB that's just set up just there. Now, I just want to show you something else. Something that confuses people sometimes. Right. That is the candle we would have got into for the buy, right? PSAR had flipped. We had a flat bottomed candle. But if you look down to the stochastic, at that particular point, the stochastic wasn't in the extreme. At that point, we got in. But this is where it's confusing people because they're going, oh, well, I won't get into that because the stochastic isn't in the extreme. What you need to look at is, has it been in the extreme very near to it? Yes, because really all this is doing is clarifying the fact that the buyers have taken control because they've crossed over and look, they're forming a bit of a gap between the blue and the red and they're bringing it up. So even though at this particular point when the PSAR flipped and the flat top bottomed candle was here, look, the stochastic wasn't in the extreme at this particular point, but it had been in the extreme. This is a valid trade. And then look, they brought it up. But if we draw in support and resistance on this line now, okay, let's just get rid of that one so I don't confuse you. But if you draw in some support and resistance, so it's probably about there. Can you see, look, touched, 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 touched. It come up here and touched it. Touched it. Look, this could either bounce off this line now, so I wouldn't, this is another indication why I wouldn't get into this trade at this point. It's made its move. We're on 5-minute candles, remember, it's made its move. I wouldn't get into this now. I would only get into a BYOB trade as soon as it's called and everything lined up. Grab that little move there, because this is all about grabbing little moves in the market to get you 10 pips. Grab that little move and get out, okay? You only want 10 pips out of this. I mean, this could go on up and up and up and up. This is 12 pips now, this move's made. But it's hitting now all this support and resistance. Normally when trades hit support and resistance, they're ready to come back down or they're going to mess about in getting consolidation. Like this could come up to here, bounce around for a little while. We don't know what this is going to do, but we would want it to get into this down here. If you're looking at this now and go, well, but that's coming back up to the extreme. Maybe we could get in for a sell. Don't forget, you've got to wait for your PSAR as well. So even if this stochastic's in the extreme up here, if your PSAR hasn't flipped to represent that this is going to stop and reverse the trend, because that's what they do, they stop and reverse the trend. If this is not ready to reverse the trend, this can just carry on going up and up and up, which is fine, but we don't want to get involved in these big long-term moves. We just want to grab these little bits as and when they happen. Okay, so that's how you look at that. So let's go back to our vibrator tool. Euro USD was 10 minutes ago, so nothing new at the moment. So let me just show you if you went on for, if you want to do the hour charts, see if anything comes up on there. All right. This is still showing me 5 minutes. Come on, wakey, wakey. Oh, it's frozen on me. What is it? Right, frozen, right, okay, so I'll show you how to look at them on the harmonic scanner. Because if you don't want to buy, oh, hang on, I've got a phone call coming in. If you don't want to buy the vibrator because it's a little add-on, it's $20 a month extra, you can just use your harmonic scanner. So let's go and have a look at that. If I can get my computer to work, it's crashed on me. Come on, computer. I think my phone call knocked it out. All right, come on. All right, so let's go to a harmonic scanner. And this is how you find trade setups on the harmonic scanner. You can do exactly the same thing. See if it loads. There we go. It always goes a little bit slow if you're screen sharing and doing Zoom, so I do apologise. But when you're just sitting there by yourself doing it, it'll be fine. Right, this is our harmonic scanner. This harmonic scanner is an incredible piece of trading kit, and it searches for patterns within the markets. And what this scanner does is it actually gives you entry prices, take profit prices, and stop losses. And look, this is where your pairs come up. Okay, so this one here was the latest one. It's a 15-minute scan. It's on the 15-minute chart. And this is telling us that New Zealand JPY has formed a bat pattern, which is this yellow pattern here. And they're telling us that the entry price was here for you to get into, and your take profit price is there. So this is how amazing this scanner is. If you didn't want to do any kind of analysis or anything like that, you could literally come onto the scanner and have a look. But the scanner is very, very good, but it's got like an 80% win rate. But the 80% win rate is calculated on from the entry price to a 15% move in the market. So it's normally just before take profit one. So if you're going to stay in this all the way up, you're risking, you know, that this could turn. So literally these kind of give you a really good to take profit one. So New Zealand JPY. So what I would tend to do, if a scan came in for something like the New Zealand JPY, I'd go and have a look at it on our BYOB conditions. So New Zealand JPY. And that's on a 15-minute chart. So we go to the 15-minute. Oh, this is a little bit wicky, this one. Can you see what I mean by a little bit wicky? Can you see how this has kind of been, it doesn't really know what to do. It's in a big channel, but it's very wicky, very wicky. Look, it didn't really know what to do here. And it's not really been in the extreme. It's kind of just messing about. Look, it's kind of stuck in this purple zone. It's been stuck for a while. It's kind of like all over the place. Now, there are moves to be had here, but it's not meeting the BYOB criteria. Can you see how much this is flicking from up, down, up, down? These P-stars, I'm not sure which way to go. So that to me would be I'm going to stay away from that for a little while. That's really like messing about, isn't it? I don't like that one at all. That would worry me. So let's avoid that one. Yeah, no, I don't like that one. Right. So what I'm going to do is, when you select up here, all these brokers send out all these trades. Look, I like Traders Way. They send out lots more. So they're saying Euro JPY to look at. This was a shark pattern. It's kind of made its move though. Look, see, it tells you to get in here. It didn't actually come down to entry. Look, and it's already made that move up. So this could easily come back down to entry again and go for it again. So this is a little bit unsure. I'm not sure about that one. This one's already made its move. So the entry price was here. It's already gone up to nearly take profit. It's coming back down to the next second entry. This would possibly retest and come back up again. But these kind of have to, these come in. Well, as soon as these come in, that's when you want to look at them for BYOB really. And what's great about our Ninja group is that we have got a channel in Discord. Probably seen it actually. Where is it? You've got Hoff's alerts in Discord. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Because when you join IM Academy and the Ninja team, you get put into our Discord group, which is this one. And on our Discord Ninja chat group, we do get, the Hoff has programmed this Discord to send in every single harmonic scan that comes in. And it comes up on your Discord. So every time a new one comes up, you will get an alert on your phone. So what you can do with BYOB is get your alert and go, right, okay, so the harmonic alert was for a new bat pattern on the New Zealand JPY. So let me go and look at that on my trading view on the BYOB criteria. So you don't have to keep logging into your harmonic scanner and going to look at that. You can literally wait for your alert on your phone and then quickly go and open up your trading view, which is already set up with your stochastics and your, you know, your PSARs and everything, and just have a look and go, right, is that one ready? Is that one ready? And, you know, that's how easy it can be to look at these as well. So that is a little bonus exclusive to get those alerts, the harmonic scanner alerts, and they are for Ninja members only. So even more reasons to become a Ninja for those looking at it for the first time. And that's how you can use the harmonic scanner to go and do the BYOB. So that is all good. Just go back to share again. Right, let's go one more look at the vibrator, see if any news come in. Oh, I took them all off, didn't I? It's flashing at me. Oh, JPY came in 2 minutes ago. Let's have a look at that. We looked at that one, didn't we? That was a nice one. Oh, JPY. Right, okay. It's still going up. Look, still going up. So I wouldn't get into this one now. It's made its move. To me, that's already done its move, but it's just on the 5 minutes. Let's go to the 5 minute. Aha! Right, okay. This is a classic, okay? It called out this trade here for the buy, but look what's happening now up here. It sent out 2 big wicks at the top, telling us that it's trying to push up, but it might not push up anymore. It sent out a doji indecisive candle here. And now it really doesn't know what to do. So that tells me that this could possibly come back down. But I wouldn't take it for a BYOB because look how far away the PSAR is. For this PSAR to flip, to change this trend, this has got to come all the way down here to flip it. And by the time that got all the way down there to flip that, your stochastic would no longer be anywhere near the extreme, and that's not extreme enough. So all this is going to be is a little tiny retest, and this will probably come back to retest a previous support and resistance, which is about probably about there. It's kind of wicked there. So yeah, that's all that's doing is coming to retest this line, and I reckon this will come back, retest this, and continue on up. But that's not one to take anyway. So that one's not ready. And I won't get into that one anyway at the moment. Right, so nothing else at the moment. That was 3 minutes ago, wasn't it? So yeah, all you do is you come on here and you flick through and you see what it's sending out, okay? So yeah, look, that one's saying, even though the stochastic is coming up to the extreme, that PSAR is nowhere near. So I wouldn't look at that yet. That's not ready to come in yet, not at all. And look, that's hit a line of resistance there. So that could either break it or come back down. We're not sure. We don't like any trades that we're not 100% sure of. We like lovely, strong moves that are obviously perfect, like this beautiful PSAR flip here. The stochastic, that was a lovely, strong move. That was a lovely, strong move. You had stochastic in the extreme, the lovely PSAR flip, and you brought it down. That's the one sort of moves we're looking at for this. We only take brilliant setups. You only need one a day. You only need one brilliant setup a day to set yourself financially free by getting your 10 pips. And that is the power of the BYOB, which is why we love it so much. All right, so I'm going to stop share. Right, let me just check if there's anything in the chat. Nothing in there. Right, has anybody got any questions or anything I can help you with? Got 5 minutes. If there's anything you're not sure of or you want me to go over again or anything like that.
Where does this recording normally go? Is it in the 7-day trial group or the main group?
I post this in the Ninja Forex main group and also in the 7-day free trial group as well. And also I do have a YouTube channel which I record all of my trainings and I put them all on my YouTube channel as well, which is just called Sarah Jane Cruickshank. So you can always find them. Most of the time I try to stream live into the free group. But sometimes it's a little bit glitchy and it doesn't let you stream, so I always record them and then put the recording in there. So they're always there available for you, especially for the new members that, you know, they want to come in and watch a replay, because I'm only doing Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays if I can with kids to come in. So if you've missed a day or anything like that, you can always kind of re-watch. So hopefully that explained a few things nicely for everybody. Was that clear enough, everybody? Were those 3 things you're looking for? Yeah. Excellent. My job here is done. Excellent. Right. Okay. So just keep looking out for those vibrator send outs and just keep checking your 3 criteria. Go to Ninja Group and print out your checklist if you're a Ninja member already. You look for the news, the stochastic in the extreme, the PSAR flip, and the flat top or flat bottom candle. If all 3 things are lined up beautifully, you can get into your trade. Go for 5 pips on the 5-minute time frame. 10 pips on the 10-minute time frames. Put your stop loss under where your PSAR flipped, and then as soon as you're in profit, move your stop loss to break even or go risk free. Okay, you don't want to be having big stop losses open and being in drawdown. We don't like anybody being in drawdown. It's not fun. It makes you stressed and it makes you act like you've got PMT. So we don't want any of that for anybody. Okay, right. I'm going to go. My children are scratching at the door for me to come out, so Thank you so much for jumping on, everybody. Really, really appreciate you being there. And I will see you next
Thanks.
Tuesday. Fingers crossed. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
See you later.
Sarah. Have a good weekend.
And you. Bye.